Tell me about public policy. And I'm interested in this because I don't know a lot about that, but I see that as something that people go to college for on a regular basis. And I always thought to myself, I kind of think I know what it is, but why don't you give me some detail on public policy? What does that mean to have that degree?
Yeah, Jerry, I might be asking myself the same question.
Right.
I have a master's degree in it, and I'm wondering, well, the whole story of attending graduate school at a pretty amazing institution, Georgetown's known for a lot of its high-level academia. And what was most cool about the program was we were in the heart of it all, in the belly of the beast, or in the swamp, as President Trump likes to say. So we had access to a lot of the leaders, former secretaries of states, former leaders of government. And the program is really centered around equipping leaders to be engaged in the institution of government. And whether that's local, state, or federal, and there's myriad ways in which one can participate in government because it's gotten so big. And I think you and I agree with reducing government to its rightful size and place. But that was really the program. It really taught people to think critically. There was a lot of statistical analyses, a lot of classes that allowed you to custom build your curriculum, to allow you to pursue various elements of passions that you might enjoy. There were some people that were really engaged, for example, in health and public health. So I think a lot of my former colleagues at Georgetown are now at the front lines making decisions as to how we respond to this coronavirus, for example.
So what I heard you say there that struck me was that they teach you to be in government and government leaders. And look, I've been around a long time. I'm political from the perspective of I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. So I hate the government. I hate everything about the government. I want to be left alone. I mean, that's really what I'm all about. One side or the other, I don't care. Just leave me alone. And I think both sides have kind of come after us over the last 25 years in my time as an entrepreneur. But I'm interested in what you said there and see what your insight is on people who get into the government. To me, it seems like that people that go into the government are just the ones that can speak the best, or they have the ones that believe that they have the calling, that this is what they need to do, which is not necessarily always the best thing, or from my perspective, rarely the best thing for the decisions that need to be made and the type of leadership. Just because you get the name doesn't mean you're the leader. But I've rarely seen leaders, what I would consider a leader, that has those jobs. Seems like they're always kind of the political class, if you will. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a big subject, so I'll try to wrestle with it a little bit on the basis of my philosophy. I interned in a variety of institutions at the Department of Labor. I interned at the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which was created by President Bush as a part of our foreign aid strategy in 2005. And I was on Capitol Hill. And out of all of those, I enjoyed Capitol Hill the most because of the nature of the touch with the people. But at the end of it all, I really felt like none of that fit me, and I returned home and returned to the private sector. So to your point, Jerry, I agree with you. I think leadership is local. Leadership is found in the homes and in the communities and in the churches and in the neighborhoods and networks where we reside. And the founders of our government had a similar vision. Their vision was to ensure that government and authority, the power of government, would remain close to the people. And that's why states had significant authority at the beginnings of the founding of our nation. And then over time, especially during the progressive era and the early 20th century, there started to be this increase in the scope and size of government. And that increase led to eventually the election of a president who was 100% bureaucrat. And we think of the Hoover Dam today, and that President Hoover, was really a thought of the day is we need bureaucratic leaders who can tell us what to do, tell us what to make, tell us where to sell it, tell us how to go about it, because we have to eradicate this poverty. And so far, limited government doesn't seem to have fully eradicated it. Well, we know the mess that we got into after that, which was the Great Depression. So I think some of the results speak for themselves, but it's a pretty big topic. And generally speaking, philosophically, I would agree. I think we want leadership at the local level with leaders in our communities and in our institutions close by us.